In this video, I'm going to go over my top 10 pickups from 2024 for the modern collecting era for baseball cards. Stick with me and let me show you what I got. What is going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me back on my channel, Brutus on Baseball. Another fantastic year is coming to a close. I've been able to grow my channel even more, and I wanted to take the time to share my top 10 pickups in baseball cards from the 2024 year. I've done this video the past 2 years where I've shared my top 10 overall, but I got so many good pickups this year that I decided to split it up into two. One for vintage era and one for the modern era. Some of the viewers that I have mostly collect vintage, while a lot of others really only collect modern cards. I love to collect both. I took a hiatus for a while in the late 2000s and early 2010s, and so I'm catching up a lot on the modern era and what it's all about, but I still love to collect these players that I'm watching and rooting for right now that I think are on a great Hall of Fame path. Once again, I'll point out that my collecting journey is really about Hall of Fame rookie cards. It's something I decided a long time ago, and it's what I like to collect. That way I can keep really focused on what it is that I'm looking for. But of course I branched out into future Hall of Fame guys too. A little bit more risk, but still a lot of fun to collect, trying to anticipate who's gonna be in the Hall of Fame one day. So with that, let's jump right into my top pickups in terms of modern cards in 2024. Now, as always is the case, I've got the top 10, but there's a few cards that I wish I could put on the top 10 that I just couldn't find room for. So I'm gonna run through those really quick. First off is a 2019 Topps Chrome X-Fractor Vlad Guerrero Jr. SGC10 Pristine card. I was so excited to be able to pick this one up this year, especially since it is the only pristine graded copy of an X-Fractor for Vlad. Couldn't crack my top 10, but a fun one to have. And after that, I picked up a lot of Manny Machado rookies this year. He's had a little bit of a down year or two, but he's still a great player at a pretty young age that has a good path for the Hall of Fame. So what did I pick up this year? A 2013 Bowman Chrome Blue Refractor numbered out of 250 SGC10, a 2013 Finest Orange Refractor numbered out of 99 PSA 10, and 2013 Topps Chrome Purple Refractors PSA 10, SGC 10, and a BGS 10 Pristine. So pretty excited to get those cards, but again, couldn't crack my top 10. And then the last one that couldn't quite crack the top 10 is a 2008 Upper Deck Masterpieces Black Frame Max Scherzer rookie card, PSA 10. I love these 2008 Upper Deck Masterpiece sets. I think they are beautiful looking cards, especially with the black frame. And this one is a pop of only 9 in existence in that grade. Definitely a great pickup, but just falls outside my top 10. Now, getting started with the top 10, I picked up a 2005 Upper Deck Old Judge Justin Verlander PSA 10. Definitely one of those that is hard to find in graded condition. There are only a population of 3 PSA 10s of this card out there. Verlander is slowing down a little bit. He's getting a little bit up there in age. So this is really a prime time to start picking up some of his cards because he will be a surefire Hall of Famer in about 5 to 6 years from now. Definitely one of the harder Verlander rookies to come by for the set registry out there. Number 9 on my list. I picked up a 2014 Topps Chrome Update Mookie Betts SGC 10 Gem Mint rookie card this year. I already had the PSA 10, the BGS 9.5. This has been able to close out all 3 grading companies that I collect for Mookie Betts' best rookie card. Very excited to pick this one up this year. Next up is number 8 on my list, and you're gonna start noticing that I cheated a little bit to make my list a little bit longer. I just had such a hard time picking and choosing which ones to include, so for some of these I started putting the player in the cards that I picked up rather than single cards. My bad, you're just gonna have to live with it because that's what I decided to do on my video. So number 8 is Francisco Lindor. I picked up 2 different cards of his this year that I put at the top of my list. A 2015 Topps Chrome BGS 10 Pristine rookie. Really hard to come by these cards, with a population of only 38 total graded pristine cards by BGS. And the second card is a 2015 Topps Triple Threads Gold Parallel numbered out of 99 in PSA 10. There's only a population of 3 Gem Mints graded out there by PSA. Lindor had an amazing year, getting second place in MVP votes in 2024 and really launching himself back onto the radar for the best players in the game. And I'm happy to add these 2 to my collection in 2024. Next up was I was able to sneak in and get a 2018 Topps Chrome Pink Refractor of Shohei Ohtani in BGS 9.5. Now, I know a lot of you guys are saying that BGS cards are not worth buying right now. And I will say that I bought a lot of these BGS ones in the first half of the year. This is my opinion on BGS. I'm not running for cover on this one, selling off everything that I've got in BGS, because I believe that they're a good grading company that has a lot of accuracy in their gradings, especially when they give those subgrades. So to my mind, these are still high quality cards, more likely than not. Even if they're in a slab that's not as popular as it used to be, I'm buying a card that I still believe is a good quality card. And so I'm not going to run away from it. I'm not going to pay nearly as much as I used to for BGS cards. That would be kind of dumb to do that, but I'm not going to totally go away from buying them as well. If someday comes when they go belly up and I need to cross these over, I'm still pretty confident that I'll be able to cross these over into good grades in the other grading companies. Now, Shohei had a fantastic season, but there was a lull in there where his prices dipped. And that's when I took advantage of being able to buy this one. Shohei cards, I've got a lot of his base cards, but I haven't really been able to get into his higher end refractor parallels, numbered cards. They're just a little bit higher price point for me to be able to jump into. But I was able to get this one when the price came down, and I was excited to do that. Number 6 on my list, again, I've cheated, Mike Trout rookie cards. He is a great example of a guy like Shohei whose prices just kept on going up and up and up in the early 2010s to a point where it was really hard to actually get into the Mike Trout market. But I figured there would be a day when his prices would have to come down a little bit, either injuries or bad seasons in a couple in a row or upon retirement. And lo and behold, it happened. He's only 32, 33, something like that. So he still has some career left, but he's really struggled with injuries the last 2 to 3 seasons, and that has brought his prices way down compared to what they used to be. So in 2024, I managed to finally go out and pick up my 2011 Bowman Chrome in PSA 10, a Bowman Sterling in PSA 10, and a Finest rookie card in PSA 10. These are just the base cards, so no expensive refractors, parallel versions. These are ones that I needed for the set registry. And at this point, I'm only missing 3 of Mike Trout's base rookie cards to fully complete the set registry. So it was pretty cool to be able to cross 3 off the list this year. Number 5 on my list is partly because it's a great card, but partly because I love this parallel set. It's one of the best all time. And that is a 2011 Topps Diamond Anniversary Paul Goldschmidt in BGS Pristine. I know that Goldschmidt had a really down year in 2024. It could be that he'll come back in 2025. It could be that he's on the tail end of his career. But either way, I think that he's likely a future Hall of Fame guy too. And this, to me, is one of his best rookie cards. Obviously not a base version, but one of the best looking parallel versions that exists from that season. And whether you're a BGS guy or not anymore, BGS 10 Pristines really do and still do command a premium over PSA 10s. Not nearly as much as they used to, but I still believe this is a great condition card in this holder. And I'm more than happy to add it at a price that was just barely above what I'd pay for a PSA 10. The number 4 on my list is another guy from the same set, a 2011 Topps Diamond Anniversary Freddie Freeman rookie, this one in PSA 10. Luckily, I was able to go out and get this one in September, just before his crazy playoff run, especially in the World Series. So if you went out and bought this in October, November, you could see prices up to $500, $600, but I managed to get this one for I think around $260. A pretty good price to me, again, for a guy that is a no doubt Hall of Famer in my mind, and one of his best looking rookie cards as well. These are the first 2 Diamond Anniversary cards that I own for both of these players, so I'd love to be able to cross them off the list for a relatively fair price on both. Now for number 3, I've got a whole glut of cards that I picked up this year for my master set of 2002 Joe Mauer rookie cards. For those that have been watching my channel for a while, you might know that my master sets that I collect are all the rookie cards for players in BGS, SGC, and PSA. I haven't really gotten into CGC cards. I'm kind of waiting to let the dust settle a little bit on BGS versus CGC, but I might be switching over at some point in the future, depending on what Beckett does. But for now, I'm still looking for those 3 grading companies. And that is becoming more and more difficult these days in the modern collecting era with how many rookie cards are out there of every single player. But for Mauer, I'm still doing my best to try to collect all of them that I can. And I was able to pick them up this year for prices that were really decent, as long as I avoided that bump in his prices in January, February, when he was announced for the Hall of Fame. This year, I picked up the 2002 Bowman BGS 9.5 and SGC 10 cards. This is his set registry card, so the Bowman PSA 10s are astronomical in price, but both of these I was able to get for under $100, as well as Topps Gold Label rookies in PSA 10 and BGS 9.5s. Now, a lot of people steer clear of these Hall of Fame guys when their announcement comes, but what I have experienced is that you see a lot of cards come up for sale that you hardly ever do when the announcement happens. So just because they might get a bump in prices doesn't mean you should stop looking for their cards, because like these Topps Gold labels, they've been really hard to find for a decent price, and I was able to pick up both of those. So this was my opportunity to be able to even get those cards because of the Hall of Fame announcement. Now, getting to number 2. I finally completed my master rookie card set for Miguel Cabrera in 2024. I have had almost all of his rookie cards, which only amount to 2, Topps Traded and Topps Chrome Traded. But the one that I was missing is his 2000 Topps Traded in SGC 10. I bought more expensive cards this year, but this one is exciting for me because I'm able to fully complete that master rookie set for myself. And sometimes that is way more fun and gets you higher on the list than just the price of the card alone. And then finally, my number 1 cards. And again, this is going to be multiple cards, but they are rookie cards of Yadier Molina. I have always been on the fence with Molina on whether he should be a Hall of Famer or not. His defense is outstanding. His offense is below average. So overall, is he a Hall of Famer? I'm not so sure. But what I am sure about is that the vast majority of people really think that he is. And that's what I'm going with. So right now, when he's still a handful of years from even being on the ballot for the Hall of Fame, that's when I figure is the time to buy his rookie cards. And so this year, I picked up 3 big ones. His 2004 Topps Chrome in PSA 10, his 2004 Ultra in PSA 10, and really what I picked as my number 1 modern era pickup of the year, his 2004 Fleer Inscribed, numbered out of only 750 SGC 10. 3 fantastic looking Yadier Molina cards to add to my modern era collecting this year. You'll notice that there aren't any ultra modern here. I really don't collect much of anything after about 2019 yet, because I want to see those guys' career really play out. Wander Franco is a great example of why I don't buy guys like that are so young. You've got to let their career play out to make sure that they're actually going to last, that they're not going to have heavy injuries, or that they're not going to do something really stupid. Fernando Tatis is another good example. I've got my eye on him to keep collecting cards over time, but I started investing in him kind of early and really have overpaid compared to what his market is now. I know a lot of people made that same mistake. And so that was a good reminder to me to hold off on these young guys and wait until they're in their late 20s at least before you start picking up cards. Of course, the downside to that are guys like Pujols or Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, that are so hard to pick up their cards because their careers just take off and don't really cool down. But as we've seen with Mike Trout, you wait long enough, his prices will come down eventually at some point in their career. Now let's talk about my modern era collecting goals for 2025. And you'll see that I'm looking ahead to the future again. Number 1 is Albert Pujols rookies that I need. And there are a ton of them out there. Because of my collecting strategy, I didn't get on the Pujols bandwagon very early. And so it's been difficult to buy into that market. But right now is a good time to buy because he's retired over a year ago and he's not on the ballot for another 4 or 5 years. And so he's in that little forgotten space where he's not front of mind and you might be able to pick up his cards for a decent price. But with Pujols, it's pretty hard to find good deals. Another one is Buster Posey rookies I need, especially his Bowman and Bowman Sterling, which I don't think I have in any of the grading companies yet. Number 3, more Yadier Molina rookies I need. The list is getting shorter, but his Bowman and his Bowman's Best are definitely on there. And then guys that are at the end of their careers or in that decline phase in their career, that's when I'm going to start looking at gobbling up some of these guys' rookie cards. Guys like Scherzer, Verlander, maybe even Arenado or Goldschmidt. If they're going down in price and they're still likely to be Hall of Famers, this is the time to grab some cards. So that's it for me, looking back on 24 and looking ahead just a little bit into 2025. Put in the comments down below what your best pickup for the modern era was in 2024. I'd love to hear about it and see what other people are collecting. My next video is my top 10 vintage baseball card pickups in 2024, so be sure to check that out. In the meantime, keep talking baseball, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you around.